Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Ceredigion in Wales. I always thought, and my bad, I always thought it was Ceredigion. And then I sit down to start researching this a week and a half ago, and I'm like, where did that I come from? And it turns out I've been saying it wrong forever. I feel really dumb. But now I know. Ceredigion, I believe is how you say it. Ceredigion. We are over here in Western Wales, along the coast of Cardigan Bay. And you can see Cardigan is right down here. There are technically two capitals in Ceredigion. There's Aberystwyth is like the main city, but it's administered in Aberystwyth for here. But this is like the heart of this county. So there's basically two different landscapes. The coastal one, which is very jagged, very rocky with a few beaches here and there. And then this interior area is part of the Cambrian Mountains. Lots of mining happened here during the times of the Industrial Revolution, which we'll talk about a bit in history. And there's also lots of rivers. The one that came up the most is down here, which you can kind of see. And I heard two different pronunciations, the Teifi or the Teifi River. It's one or the other. My Welsh viewers will let us know which one it is in the comments, I'm sure. And they'll correct any other mispronunciations I have as well. So let's talk history. So we'll look at the rest of the geography on Google Earth. Of course, it's Wales. There's a very long history here, and there are many different hill forts that were built along the coasts and the mountains here by the ancient Celtic peoples who settled here, who would eventually become the ancestors of today's Welsh population. There was also a bit of Roman occupation during that time as well, but there were no big Roman forts or anything like that, any big Roman towns, but there was evidence that the Romans were present here during their time on the island of Britain. In 1277, Aberystwyth Castle was built. Now, one of the fun facts about Wales is that it has the most castles per square mile in the entire world. And that is because the English over here wanted to dominate the Welsh over here. And they did so by building a ton of very strong fortified castles so that they could show that, we're mightier than you because we've got these big towers and castles, boats and all of that. And we can control you. This castle, though, the Welsh were not having it. They burned it down in 1282. And the English had to come back and they rebuilt it by 1289. In 1404, the legendary Owen Glendower came through and occupied the castle and ran his own little court for a moment there. But of course, after his time, it was taken back by the English. And it was completely destroyed in 1649 during the Civil War in Britain. It was razed by the parliamentarians during a big conflict there. So this poor castle never stood a chance, did it? It certainly did not. Aberystwyth was actually founded in 1805. Very, very new for Britain, isn't it, and Wales. It was established to be a port area to ship things out around the island of Britain and over to Ireland and even internationally. Aberystwyth also had a big port as well over there. Now this area is considered like a Welsh heartland of culture. This area is still very predominantly Welsh speaking today. There's lots of Welsh spoken throughout Wales, of course, but this area speaks it a lot more common and a lot more fluently than, say, in Cardiff. The Methodist movement sprung up in this area here, an alternative to the Anglican Church, of course, which apparently the Methodism, I suppose, was a lot more convenient for the people in little towns here. That they could run it themselves, Like I said, a lot of mining occurred here, lots of tin and I believe lead, very basic metals. But once the Industrial Revolution really started to get rolling over in London and other major towns throughout England and Scotland, and I suppose Wales as well, I guess you can count Cardiff too, Swansea, people moved out of this area to go to those jobs, and there was a population drop. And it didn't really pick up until right about the start of the 20th century. In 1872, the first building of the University of Wales was built in Aberystwyth. So this became a university town. It still is today. But in 1864, this area changed when the railroad arrived. And soon this area became a center of tourism, because now anyone in the Isle of Britain could hop a train and come to the shore here. So there's a lot of seaside attractions here. And that's really what it's known for over there, is the tourism. We'll look at Devil's Bridge too. That's a little famous spot in Wales along the railroad there. But I believe that's pretty much all of the history that I have for you. Ceredigion is named after Ceredig, I believe. Did I write it down? I didn't say it. I think I had it in my other notes, not these notes. Ceredig ruled the kingdom here, which became the kingdom of Ceredigion. But during the time when this was like England, right, this area was known as Cardiganshire. And then once Wales started to become its own autonomous thing, it became Ceredigion again. Yeah, I think that's about all the history that I have for you here. Very quiet place in Wales, very quaint. So, not a ton of stuff happening here in Welsh history, but important nonetheless. There's also not like a ton of pictures to show you over here, but the ones that are here are pretty great. So I think that we should hop over to my tablet and look at Ceredigion. Ceredigion. I don't know. Ceredigion is a better name. I'm sorry. Ceredigion. It's a great name, but I'm so used to saying Cardigan that it just sounds right to me. I'm so sorry. I promise I won't say it again. Let's look at Ceredigion on Google Earth. Let's go. Here we are in Ceredigion. Let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. You know what I just realized? We've reached the end of an era on my channel. If you're a regular viewer, you know that we're going through alphabetical order. We've gone through all of these centers, centrals, centre, and then we just hit centro. We finished the centers. We finished the center section. I just realized that. Holy moly. We've been doing centers since December. It's now the beginning of March. We did it. We made it through. My goodness. Anyway, here is beautiful, beautiful Wales. Pretty easy to find. Everyone knows where the island of Britain is. Great Britain, the United Kingdom includes Northern Ireland over there. Wales is easy to find because it's this big chunk over here. Scotland is this big chunk up here. But Wales sticks out like that. That's Wales right here. Easy to find. So you can very clearly see the mountains on this map, can't you? But we're going to start over on the seaside, which in my research, what popped up the most were the dolphin tours. Apparently lots of dolphins splish splash off the shore here. I think this town is called New Quay, I believe. New Quay. It was not pronounced Quay. I don't know. Is that, see, like there's boat trips? I don't know. Do you guys not say Quay? Look at the dolphins. Oh, cute. Because in America we say Quay. Do you guys not say Quay, or is it just a Welsh thing that you pronounce it funny? There's the Welsh flag. The Welsh red dragon and the dolphins. Very cool. I don't know. Let me know. Let's look. There's Aberystwyth, which this doesn't really have great pictures. They're mostly like, I think, from a boat. It looks like someone took these from a boat. The little houses along there. But we're going to hop over to Aberystwyth because there's a lot of sights to see here. Let's start with the castle. Or what's left of it, at least. There's not much left of it. But what is there is definitely there, isn't it? Lots of ruins here. Big old tower. I bet it's pretty spooky, like early morning if it's all like foggy or cloudy. But like in the best way, right? Beautiful seaside. Aberystwyth Castle. Along here you can see the Pier Arcade, the Royal Pier, which is the first, I guess, royal pier built in Wales. The first pier to open in Wales. It is a play place with arcade games and such. Fish and chips on the pier, amusements. You can hear Russell crying at the door. But yeah, and all of the starlings fly around here as well. Look at them go. Very pretty. What's she getting? I don't know, but I hope she's winning. Not quite sure what she's doing. But along here are a bunch of very iconic homes. I think this is the best slideshow. There's like terrible slideshows over here. I think, oh, maybe not this one. Oh, Google Earth is crashing anyway. 1 second. Of course it is. Of course it's crashing. Wait, did it stop? I'm gonna reload it anyway. It gave up halfway through. But I'm going to reload Google Earth anyway. 1 second. 1 second. Make sure that everything is on. There we go. Okay. Okay, maybe it was one of these. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. All the homes around here, which is apparently the most expensive real estate strip in Wales, are these homes here along the beach. And you can see, of course, they're right on the water, and they're very beautiful, aren't they? A big motorcycle group there. They're all very colorful and lively and beautiful. Look at them. So quaint. Let me see. Maybe this one had a good picture too. Oh yeah, look at how colorful. And the little beach there. Very nice. I also read a lot. The tourism websites were talking about this cliff where you can take a little railway train up to this big observatory here. Apparently it has the world's largest camera obscura, which is like a big looking glass where you can see everything all around. But the pictures aren't any good. On Google Earth at least, but it's in there. There's crazy golf, which in the UK is mini golf. We call it mini golf in America. They have frisbee golf too. And you can see all of the big crags here, all of the big, well, we just call it crags in the States, but big cliffs, big rocky cliffs. See, there's one too. See, look how cool these are. Look at those stripes. That's gorgeous. Wow. And a bunch of little friends there. What are those? Little cormorants or some kind of fishing bird. But over here, we can find on this hill is an old hill fort. It'll eventually pop up. At some point it will. Oh, it's over here. That's why. It's over here. So this was built by the ancient Celts that lived here. And so there's obviously not much left, but there's enough left behind that we can tell that this was a fort. This monument was built circa 1815 to memory of the, oh, it's the Duke of Wellington, the victor of Waterloo. There's a little thing there for the Duke of Wellington. But this area was a hill fort back in the very ancient times. That's what I'm talking about, all of the fog rolling in. Gorgeous. Oh, they're paragliding up there. Sweet horsey. Yeah, and lastly, over here in Aberystwyth, we have the National Library of Wales. And this big, gorgeous building, a big center of Welsh culture. I'm sure you could come and research your lineage. There's a Roald Dahl quote there. He was Welsh. Yeah, you can do all kinds of research into Welsh history, ancestry. There's an aurora up there. Welsh music. Everything you need to know about the history of Wales. Look at this old map. My goodness. It looks like they couldn't fit Scotland in, so they just put it sideways. Pretty amazing, isn't it? There's also the Arts Center over here, which I wouldn't normally talk about. I think it's over here. Yeah, the Arts Center. The pictures here aren't great, but everything I read was like, you have to come to the Arts Center. So there's the Aberystwyth Arts Center as well. The other thing that came up so often was Devil's Bridge. And it's like not tagged on Google Earth. It's tagged everywhere, but there's the Devil's Staircase, but not the Devil's Bridge. So I have to dig deep to find it. Let's look at this nature reserve, though. Look at all this. You can tell that this has been mined out, huh? So let's look at some nature real quick before we go and find Devil's Bridge. It's gorgeous here. Oh, that's like a nice little stroll there, isn't it? Oh, even better. It is really beautiful here. Very quiet, I can imagine. Very peaceful. Oh, there's a Highland cow. A little Highland cow will visit you during your walk here. It's pretty great here, I think. I would have a lovely hike around here, I feel like. But yeah, you can see where that area has been mined out. Let me see. It's over here, I believe. See this big, like, chasm here? It's around here somewhere. There's a birch grove walk. Let me see real quick. Are there pictures? Some of the places here don't have any pictures. Birch grove walk. No, there's mostly signs. So, the closest I could find, I think it's around here somewhere. Oh, maybe up here? It's gotta be up here. Look how deep that is. Ha ha ha. I found it. So, this is the only slideshow that actually shows you Devil's Bridge, which is right here. It's a triple bridge, original bridge, secondary bridge, current bridge, built on top of each other. And this has been used in a couple of television shows, and it's just kind of infamous. Apparently it's got legends. The original bridge was built by the devil. Well, that's a nice picture, actually. So yeah, that came up in everything I researched. So there it is. You can see this is another place I'm not quite sure, the Rheidol River. I believe there's another mine over here. I found a bunch of them around this area. But let's head more into the mountains and see what we can find. Oh, this arch too also came up a lot. An old arch. Does it say when it was? This arch commemorates the Jubilee of King George the something of 1810. I guess that's third. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Third, 1810. Interesting. It's pretty great. It looks very old. It looks way older than George III. But nevertheless. Here's the Taffy Pools up here. And I hope that's how you say it. Also a very beautiful little spot up here in the mountains. Someone's living their best van life here at the pools. There's the foam box up here. You can just, if you really need to make a call in the middle of nowhere, you certainly can in this very classic red phone box. How pretty. This is really, the aurora. I was about to say, this kind of reminds me of Iceland. And then you see the aurora. It really reminds me of Iceland. Just like the barren, like no trees, rolling green hills. But the phone box really isn't very Icelandic. But it's very pretty here. It's just a really gorgeous little corner of Wales. I mean, it's hard to find a corner of Wales that isn't gorgeous, let's be honest. But it seems so peaceful here. It's like no wonder that this is a vacation place. I feel like it's definitely a place that you'd come to just get everything off your mind and relax. All the little countryside here, all the little beaches. Poppet Sands Beach. Wait, we're out of bounds. Never mind, we're not going to look at Poppet Sands Beach. Another day we will. There's an island. Is there anything on this island? It's Cardigan Island. I guess we should probably look at Cardigan, shouldn't we? Maybe we'll end it over here in Cardigan. Down here. Cardigan Castle. I think that's where we'll end this video. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing. I already have a lot of other videos about Wales, including a video for Cardiff. If you ever are like, because I've done a lot of videos, if you ever like, has a Smart Geographica done this place or that place or this country, go to just my main YouTube page, and up where it says like playlists, videos, community, there's a little microscope looking, whatever it's called, a magnifying glass to search, and you can just type in whatever you're looking for and it'll pop up there. That's the easiest way to find what you're looking for. I also have playlists sorted by country. This is pretty epic, the harp and everything on it. But if you want to like find something, you can just type in like Wales in there, and all my Wales videos will pop up. That's the easiest way to really find anything on my channel. Better than searching through YouTube. There's another castle, but we're out of bounds, aren't we? I believe so. Darn, another day. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. How did I do, Welsh viewers? How do you say this? I'm not even gonna try. I really practiced my Welsh when I started researching, and then I promptly forgot it all. Welsh is one of those languages I just cannot keep in my head. I don't know why. My brain just refuses to memorize how to pronounce things in Welsh. Alas, someday I'll get it. Someday I'll get it. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational, and I hope that you have a good